This is the participant information leaflet for the study with the title Maximising Equity and Accessibility of Acute Stroke Care Pathways in Ireland, an interview to understand staff experience and system organisation. Part 1, describing the study. Why is this study being done? This study aims to better understand how best to plan and organise stroke services so that more people might benefit from the treatments that are now available. We feel that we can learn a lot from the experience of healthcare staff who work in the field of stroke care, because stroke care is complex and challenging to provide at a consistently high level of quality. But by listening to the stories and experiences of staff members, we might better understand the challenges that they face at each step in the chain of care, and we may gain insights into how future stroke services might be organised in order to minimise delay in both the pre-hospital and the in-hospital steps of the stroke pathway. Who is organising and funding this study? The study has been organised by a team of doctors and researchers who work at Sligo University Hospital and at the Royal College of Surgeons in Ireland. The study is funded by a grant from the Health Research Board and is part of a postgraduate qualification or PhD for a doctor who works in stroke care in Ireland. Why am I being asked to take part? We're asking you to consider taking part because we feel we can learn from your experience of working in the field of stroke care. We believe that understanding your individual experience can help us improve how stroke care is organised for everyone who has a stroke in future. We're inviting a range of professionals with roles in stroke care or acute medicine at a number of hospital sites to participate, as we feel we can learn from everyone, and we hope to speak to about 10 people at the site where you work. How will the study be carried out? The study will involve an interview with the researcher to discuss your experience of providing acute stroke care. Each interview will last about 40 to 60 minutes and can be held in person in a location that suits you, or an online meeting can also be arranged if that's more suitable. You'll only be asked to participate once in the study. The interviews will be hosted by the doctoral researcher. The topics to be discussed have been designed to gain an understanding of your experience of different parts of the stroke care chain or stroke pathway, from pre-hospital alert to the emergency department to brain imaging, acute intervention, and finally admission to the stroke unit. It's planned that the study will take place in 2023 and that your interview will be at a time that suits you. Should you wish to participate at work, this can be accommodated at a time that suits your rota or service obligations. And should you prefer to participate out of work hours, that will also be accommodated. Your contributions will be the cornerstone of the study, and so your preferences will be prioritised. We hope that some of your work colleagues may also participate, but your participation or the content of your interview will not be disclosed or discussed with them or vice versa. The confidentiality of your contribution is assured. What will happen to me if I agree to take part? You'll be asked to sign a consent form and reminded of the importance of the confidentiality of all discussions. The interview will be hosted by the researcher. The questions will be open in nature. There's no right or wrong answer. We're interested in your observations, opinions, and suggestions. The goal is to learn from your experiences. The interview will be recorded using a voice recorder for in-person discussions and in video and voice recording for online interviews. This allows a transcript or written record of the discussion to be downloaded or typed so that the researcher can later analyse the discussions for patterns in conversations, but your identity will not be identifiable in the final typed transcripts. The same topics will be addressed with all interview participants using an interview guide that has been developed specifically for the study. So if you're new to your role and feel you might not have a lot to contribute, don't worry at all. It's still worth joining the conversation, as we feel we will learn from everyone. Do I have to take part, and can I withdraw? You do not have to take part in the study. It's entirely voluntary. If you decide not to take part, it won't affect your role in any way. You can also change your mind about taking part in the study and opt out at any time, even if the study has already started. And if you decide to opt out, it won't affect your role in any way. You don't have to give a reason for not taking part or for opting out. And what happens if I change my mind? You can change your mind at any time by contacting the researcher. Details are on the last page of this leaflet. And if you choose not to take part anymore, you'll be asked to fill in a withdrawal form. If you wish, you can ask for any of your stored data to be destroyed. And only if we are just about to publish a paper containing your data, when you decide to withdraw, would removal of the data related to your contribution not be possible. Are there any benefits to taking part in the research? Taking part in the study may not directly benefit you. However, Research that includes your information may help us better understand how best to organise and plan efficient acute care services. So the study hopes to impact health service policy and resourcing in future. So the benefits of the research may not be seen for several years. However, by participating, you are helping to advance our understanding of stroke care pathways and processes in Ireland and to improve them in future. Are there any risks to me or others if I take part? Research involving interviews are low risk in their design. However, discussions involving topics related to health and health care services can be emotive, and it is possible that you may have experienced difficult events during the course of your work, which could evoke difficult memories. If you experience any distress during or after the interview, you can speak about this to the researcher. You can stop for a break temporarily, or you can withdraw from the study altogether, and your distress will be acknowledged and supported. There is a risk that a connection to your identity could be made by virtue of the fact that the number of people who work in stroke in your hospital or in Ireland more generally is low. Great care will be taken to ensure confidentiality of all data, and the risk to participants of a breach of confidentiality is considered to be low. What happens if something goes wrong when I'm taking part in the study? It's very unlikely that anything will go wrong as a result of participating in this study, as it involves a format of voluntary and open conversation. The researcher will contact you the day after the interview to check on your well-being and answer any questions that you might have.